This lesson is about universal design. Universal design is about designing products or spaces that can be used by anybody without need for adaptation. So products or spaces that are user-friendly and don't need to be changed in order for someone to use them. People of all ages and abilities can just use them as is. The concept of universal design was introduced by an American architect named Ronald Mace in the 1980s. So, in the beginning, universal design was just about architectural design. It was about buildings. Since then, the concept has been applied to tons of stuff. Anything that is universally accessible is inherently or innately inclusive. It includes everyone. That's why we need to be considering universal design in the workplace. Applying it to our policies and projects and events and offices, and applying it from the start. When the principles of universal design are taken into consideration right from the start, accessibility and inclusivity are built into whatever we are creating. So, they aren't just an afterthought. And as a result, fewer revisions or tweaks, quote unquote, are needed later on. Meaning we get to our final destination that much faster. When we talk about quote unquote applying universal design, we're talking about the need to consider the widest or broadest possible range of users. Because that's what universal design is. In practice, it's designing things that are efficient enough or user-friendly enough to be used by anybody. It shouldn't matter how old someone is or what their strengths are or weaknesses are. You are trying to design something they can use with little to no trouble. Consider, for instance, automatic doors or curb cuts, also called sidewalk ramps. Curb cuts are absolutely essential for people who use mobility aids like wheelchairs or walkers. But they're also great for parents pushing strollers, children riding their bikes, seniors with reduced strength or mobility, and delivery people pulling heavy dollies. Everyone can make use of curb cuts, and they can do it without much trouble, right? It's easy. So at the end of the day, universal design benefits everybody, not just the people using mobility aids. Universal design also benefits organizations. It pushes us to think about things differently, leading to new innovative products or ways of doing things. And new innovative products or ways of doing things are key when it comes to staying relevant and competitive as an organization. Now, let us talk a little bit more about applying universal design to the workplace. I want to provide you with a couple of ideas to get started. Since universal design was originally just about architecture and physical space, let's start by talking about accessible spaces, specifically office spaces. Ask yourself whether your office has ramps. Are doorways wide enough for a motorized wheelchair to fit through? Are your doors automatic? If not, what kind of handles do they have? Do you have automatic sinks or soap dispensers? What about your washrooms? Are they gender neutral? And let's talk about flexible workstations. Consider adding some adjustable desks that can accommodate different heights or can be used for sitting and standing positions. I would also recommend ergonomic chairs that can be adjusted to support a variety of body types. Another thing to consider is technology. So, how accessible is the technology you're using? Could an employee navigate your online portal using a screen reader? What about potential clients looking at your website? Consider using a customizable interface that allows visitors to adjust things like font sizes and color contrast. I would also recommend a voice command option if possible. And what about communication? Does your organization prioritize clear and accessible communication? It's really important that simple, straightforward language can be used in all workplace communications. This means fewer opportunities for mix-ups or misunderstandings. I also encourage you to provide information in multiple formats to accommodate different learning styles. So, write it down, say it out loud, and depict it visually. So universal design is what's going to allow us to create workplaces that are accessible to everyone. Workplaces that everyone has access to. It's going to help us create organizations that are naturally inclusive because they've been designed to include as many people as possible. or to meet the needs of as many people as possible. And remember, universal design isn't just for people with disabilities, it's for everyone. Because accessibility isn't just a bonus, quote unquote, it's a legal obligation. Legally, your workplace has to be accessible. Employers in Alberta have what's called a duty to accommodate under both federal and provincial jurisdiction, and that's what our next lesson is about. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.